Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
To Henry. Quick snap. Breeze. Pass is incomplete. No flag for Tommy Lee Lewis.
Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Skipper going free to the 30. To the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on the New England.
Welcome to the offseason, where every single day we have the chance to learn absolutely nothing about anything, or we have the chance to learn about absolutely everything about anything. It really is quite the beast, and I hope you guys are able to get through your first Sunday without football, and it's gonna be that way for a while, so you better just get used to it. But we have learned some stuff already this week. We've learned that Tom Brady's relationship with Bruce Arians was not great, and Tom Brady's coming back to the league. Just you wait. We also learned that Aaron Rodgers likes to throw up and crap himself a lot. I know when joined the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday, we were kind of hoping for a little bit more substance, but you know, we got that. That was quite the show right there. But thank you guys for tuning in to the first show of the off season. It's going to be a great time. Of course, I'm your host, Ross Allen, and we're going to be switching things up a little bit, as we get into this part of the year where anything football related is mostly just rumors or depression, because we don't actually have games. I know it's going to be a little bit different than our usual stuff, going through hour-long stuff. So, I'm thinking, going to change this around the templates. We're going to have a few, some different types of shows about football coming out throughout the off season. So, just stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be playing around with a lot of things just to see what works for, mostly for you guys, but also a little bit for me and us. Hopefully we'll expect to hear some new voices as well. So there's that little bit teaser for you guys. But we're going to we're going to start off the offseason with the most important position on the field. That is at the quarterback spot. And we're going to got a few names for you guys today. We're going to give a little bit of insight and a little bit of thoughts into the current news of what's going on right here. So just keep it locked. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and follow us. Best way to tune in is over, just go on over to thefourthandlong.com, and you can catch everything there, especially us on Twitter and Instagram. But we're going to start things off here talking about Tom Brady, because you might hear our thoughts already if you tuned into our Super Bowl breakdown last week. Of course, that was a lot of fun. Alex, and he dropped a little bit of a take. But what we learned about Tom Brady is that his relationship with Bruce Arians and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers soured in his last year with the team. That kind of helped lead up to his choice to, I'll put in quotes, retire. Even though, is he really retiring? I'm not buying it. I didn't buy it when it happened. And neither is Alex Kropp. Shout out to my co-host, AK, there. Last week, go ahead to it, because a lot more takes than just this. But he said, and I agree, that Tom Brady is going to go to the San Francisco 49ers. He is not done playing football, and I could not agree more. I think San Francisco would be a great spot. Obviously, he's even a Niner fan. He's not sold on Trey Lance. I don't believe this team is sold on Trey Lance, and the Niners are going to be moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo. And there's going to be a bunch of teams out there that do need a quarterback. If you want to just throw out, you can take a look at the Panthers. You can take a look at possibly the Vikings. Take a look at the Commanders. It's going to take some getting used to. Possibly the Green Bay Packers. The Denver Broncos are out there. The Colts are out there. The Steelers are out there. There's plenty of teams. The Bucks are out there. Plenty of teams. The Saints are out there too. I mean, you just keep going. Plenty of teams that need a quarterback, all right? So, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get traded. Tom Brady was, if you remember, Tom Brady was pretty much supposed to be going to the San Francisco 49ers before he decided to go to the Buccaneers. This makes tons of sense, and I think this is going to happen. If anything, if you want to take a look at the Bucs situation, it's time to bring back Jameis Winston. because Jameis Winston is a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL. He would have had an amazing season if he didn't tear his ACL last year. Just go ahead, keep that locked in your head. Jameis Winston, probably he's easily one of the best free agent, if not the best free agent quarterback on the market this season. All right. But the next quarterback I kind of mentioned with his cleanse. Yeah, that would cleanse it real good, I guess. Rodgers didn't confirm anything on Tuesday when he joined the Pat McAfee show like he typically does. Oh, man, the rumor mill was going crazy when he dropped that Instagram post, essentially thanking his teammates and coaching staff and all those kind of people, especially that picture he released where, typically he stands between, a couple guys there, but he was on that picture, and that was from when he missed the game. I forget what game it was, to be honest, who he missed because of COVID, but he did that. Obviously, that's going to send me going crazy, especially in the offseason. You get the tiniest bit of news to go off of, everyone's going to eat it up. Unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast. I don't like to do that here because it's stupid. No, that's the best way to describe it. It's stupid. There's no need to overact about every little piece of news. Don't be that greedy, I guess might be the word for clicks. Don't be that desperate for clicks. Put out good news, please. Thank you very much. So, of course, that's why I should keep it locked here all the time. Best news of the offseason right here. But Rodgers, obviously, he said he's going to make his decision soon, and this was after the after the season. He's going to make his decision within like a reasonable amount of time. A lot of speculation, he might be waiting on what the Packers are going to do with Devontae Adams. The free or the period to franchise tag players has started. That goes until, I believe it's March 8th. So we got a little bit of time here. Might have to wait until we figure out. And the Packers, if they're smart, they're going to be signing Adams to a long-term deal. Unfortunately, if at the worst, they probably just tag him and try to sign him during the season or push off another year. The Packers' salary cap isn't in the best of spots, but also the salary cap is a myth that is funded by Big Goodell, and you should not believe in it, especially after what we saw last season. I am still on the belief that Aaron Rodgers will not be on the Green Bay Packers next year. I forget who was reporting it, but it might have been Schefter was saying that either Rodgers is going to retire or he's going to stay with the Packers. I think the odds have him like minus 160 or something like that with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is still going to the Denver Broncos, and might even bring Devontae Adams along as well. So just you watch out there. But let us know your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers, on that whole situation. Obviously, there's a lot more you can go into. Hopefully, we'll be getting some Packers fans here on the show coming up soon to talk about that big ol' mess that is the Aaron Rodgers situation. So just wait and see. It's going to be a great time there. The other quarterback taking a bit of a turn in talent. Let's talk about Carson Wentz, because obviously he's no Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. He can win you football games. Well, Carson Wentz is the kind of player that he's probably not going to win you football games, but he's probably not going to lose you football games. Kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo. He's kind of the same category there. He did have a pretty solid, until the last game of the season, he did have a pretty solid touchdown to interception ratio. So you got to put a little bit of respect on that. But the reports out of Indianapolis are he's likely not going to be a part of the team's plans moving forward. And I don't blame them, because if you got a guy like Jonathan Taylor, you got a good offense, got a pretty solid defense, although you could argue that they underperformed this season. That team has a lot of talent, okay? That team has a lot of talent. If they still had Andrew Luck, they would be AFC Championship game material, hands down. So, the odds have come out with Carson Wentz. They're the top 5 teams right now. The odds makers have the Colts at minus 110, so they're the favorite. Then you got the Steelers at plus 350, the Commanders plus 500, the Bucks plus 600, and the Broncos plus 650. And I will say, as a Denver Broncos fan, if the Broncos sign Carson Wentz I will be. Oh man, what's? I don't know, man. I'd just be disappointed. I just flat out disappointed, maybe a little bit depressed as well. Oh, there would be no. If you sign Carson Wentz, you're stupid. You'd have a way better chance of winning football games with Drew Lock, and that is a damn fact. All right, or even bring back Teddy Bridgewater, even though he's going to be asking for stupid money. I don't. Drew Lock, or Aaron Rodgers, Drew Lock, or probably maybe Russell Wilson in there, but probably no one else if you're the Denver Broncos, or maybe a little Gardner Minshew action. Let's go. I would not be opposed to that. Absolutely not. But out of here, you got to take a look at some. If I had to, I'll predicting where Carson Wentz is going to end up next year. I do think it's going to be. Pause for dramatic effect. It's going to be the Washington Commanders. I think that's probably the best place for him to go. Also, it makes the most sense considering that's a disappointing franchise, and you're going to get a somewhat washed and disappointing quarterback when you could be making a bigger splash potentially. So, that is perfect for that franchise. What a way to start the new era of the Commanders with an average name, an average uniform, and a below average front management. Oh, I'm so sorry for any of my Washington fans out there. And if you guys are listening right now, I love you. I just hate Dan Snyder. All right. And I feel like you're right there with me as well. Because if you actually like Dan Snyder, I do think you are wrong in the head, or you're just Dan Snyder. Wait, no, that's just the same thing. Moving on. So the Bucs here, I already said, I think the Bucs should go right after Jameis Winston. That would be a great move. Or I guess Jimmy Garoppolo, but I really like Jameis back there in Tampa Bay. A little bit of familiarity there with the teammates. The Pittsburgh Steelers. That's an interesting one, too, because if you listen to what their general manager, I think he said this on Tuesday, what general manager Kevin Colbert said, so the Steelers might be in trouble going after this statement, because he said that if the season started today, that Mason Rudolph would be their starting quarterback. Now, you don't need to hear me tell you, or an expert tell you, which is still me, of course, that is a bad situation at quarterback. You don't want Mason Rudolph to be a franchise quarterback. He's not a franchise guy. He's not a starting quarterback. He's hardly a backup quarterback. The only thing he's ever been good at doing is being a punching bag for Myles Garrett in his helmet, okay? Oh, that Rudolph, man. No, that'd be horrible. And so what the Steelers should do is not be a plus 350 to sign Carson Wentz. What they should be doing, and I've been saying it for months and months and months now, push your third round pick up, all right? Give it to the Philadelphia Eagles, Gardner Minshew in Steel City. That is the way to go. Gardner Minshew is a good, talented quarterback. He can turn our team into a solid contender. They will be going from the last 2 years of Ben Roethlisberger and that team in general. The Steelers will be better with Gardner Minshew. I can guarantee that one. I can guarantee that they will outperform the last two Steelers years. That defense is fantastic. Najee Harris is turning into a machine. All right, their receiving core is good. I mean, they might be losing Juju apparently. They're going to do some work. They're going to do some work there. But especially if you take a look at the ceiling, that ceiling is a lot higher with Gardner Minshew as a quarterback. And you saw the times where he filled in Philadelphia, or even when you throw it back to the super wildcard weekend, they should have had Gardner Minshew, or we debate this. Let us know. You can go back to that one and hear our full thoughts. But Alex and I both agreed that if the Eagles are starting Gardner Minshew, they would have had a way better chance of winning that game than if Jalen Hurts at the helm. Gardner Minshew is a great passer, and he's a popular name just because he's kind of a meme. All right, the hair is amazing, the dress is immaculate. That guy, it's like he wears waterfalls. All right, because a little bit of drip there. I know you guys would not expect me to have that in my vocabulary. But here we are. Expect the unexpected. Thank you very much. Also, he's just great, man. That video with him, I think it's for Christmas. He got a samurai sword. I love Gardner Minshew so much. All right, and that's why I say if you end up going to the Denver Broncos, I would have zero complaints about that one. But Gardner Minshew to Steel City, that's perfect. And we're going to take a look going on into the offseason. There's a lot of great free agents on the market: quarterback, wide receiver, defense, the whole spiel, the whole shebang-a-bang, all right. And there's a lot of quarterback-needy teams. So we'll come out, do some full predictions, predicting each landing spot and kind of filling in the hole that each of those teams does have, each of those quarterback-needy teams do have. So stay tuned. If you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe, and all that stuff. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, so you can stay up to date with all this throughout the off season. But I would love to hear your thoughts, all right? I would love to hear your thoughts on just how good is Gardner Minshew, okay? Because he's not like a great quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback, I don't think. But if you're a team that needs a quarterback, Gardner Minshew is a really, really solid option right there. But where's Aaron Rodgers going to end up? Is Tom Brady actually retired? Spoiler alert, no, he's not. And also, what's going to happen with Carson Wentz? Because he could be a good quarterback. He had a good situation in Indianapolis. I don't know, man. But it just seems to me like the Commanders are calling his name. But that's kind of going to wrap it for us. I'm thinking like 15, 20 minutes with kind of stuff like this. Hell, I might be able to get more episodes out to you guys instead of the typical hour-long shows. But if you want to take a look, a little bit of preview of what we have lined up for the offseason, I would like to do, we're aiming for 1 to 2 shows a week in this similar feeling where maybe a little bit more news stories. We do 3 or 4 of those, or maybe a specific topic. Hopefully I'll be having, I'm going to have other fans' voices and names that have not been on the show before. Of course, Alex is going to be on. Hoping to bring Jalen back on for some of this stuff. It's going to be a great offseason. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, essentially, okay? And also coming out, we're going to have division breakdowns. We're going to break down each division, what went right, what went wrong, what has to happen to the offseason for these teams to be successful. And we're going to take a free agency breakdown. Of course, next week is our full season recap, so that's going to be a blast. So got a lot of great stuff coming out. I know it sucks. The off season is a horrible time, and none of us like it. We're going to have 6 months of nothing but no football. We might not even have baseball, okay? Scraping the bottom of the barrel. Might not even have that because Rob Manfred is still the worst commissioner in all of professional sports. It's not close, to quote Alex Kropp. But we're going to keep things filled. We're going to keep pumping out some great content. You guys have been amazing, just hitting records when it comes to listenership on the audio. YouTube, we're doing great stuff. So you guys are the freaking best, all right? Of course, huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. If you want to become one for just starting at $1 a month, go on over to patreon.com/4thandlong to get started today. For just $1, you get a bunch of goodies, all right? So go ahead, check that out. Of course, everything's linked at thefourthandlong.com. But shout out to Ray Rodriguez for all your car collecting needs. Going over to Instagram and follow at the Big Bat Box and check him out on Friday. As speaking of the NFL offseason, 2 big names he's going to give you of guys that you should be going after hard this offseason, whose value is only going to grow once next season starts, all right? And shout out to Ryan Watson and Neil Wiley. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this one. We'll see you throughout the remainder of the offseason. Go out, have a blessed day. We'll see you in the next one.